Ladies and gents, my name is Xander, aka Deislayers, and in this video, we're going to go ahead and do a versus of the positive outlook versus the Uriel's gift versus the number and find out which one of these three auto rifles is truly the best among the three. Now the main reason that we're doing this video is because all three of these weapons could easily be considered the meta because they are all in that exact archetype of 450 rounds per minute. In addition to this, I was very curious to find out exactly which one of these three was actually the best, and that all comes down to their base stats, their PvP stats, as well as their intrinsic perks, and with all three of these things combined, we're going to be able to analyze and discuss all their similarities and their pros and cons to really find out which one is the powerhouse among all the three. The other reason that we're doing this video is because my very good friends Derek Andrews and the Deadly Neighborhood asked us to go ahead and compare these exact three weapons, and so because of that, that's exactly what we're going to analyze and discuss. The only thing left to do is to eviscerate that subscribe button, and let's jump right into the video. The very first thing that I want to say about auto rifles in general, or at least the ones that are classified in this 450 rate of fire archetype, is that all of these weapons are classified to be the meta, and that's because easy mode is engaged. Not only do you simply have to hold on the trigger 24/7, but these weapons are also the most lenient. What I mean by leniency is that it doesn't really matter whether or not you're hitting headshots or body shots, but you can also miss shots in general, and with all these things combined, you still have a very high chance of winning that gun battle engagement. For this reason and this logic, these weapons are lenient, and that's why they're classified as the meta, because you can still be able to down Guardians extremely fast and not have to be accurate or precise or even get headshots, just as long as you're getting shots on the Guardian every now and then. With that being said, the very next thing that I want to cover is to let you guys know all these weapons' optimal time to kills, as well as their body shot time to kills and the damage output associated with each. Because all three of these weapons are in that exact same rate of fire at 450 rounds per minute, that means that they actually have the exact same optimal time to kill and the exact same body shot time to kill at 1.2 seconds and 1.47 seconds. This also means that it's going to be anywhere from 10 to 12 shots to actually down a Guardian, and in association with this, you're going to be doing 22 points of damage in the head and 18 points of damage in the body. The reason why these two kill times are fantastic and superb is because no matter which way that you look at it, whether you're getting headshots or body shots, your average kill time is going to be around 1.34 seconds. There is no other weapon in this game that has approximately that same average kill time with the most leniency, meaning that you can still miss multiple shots and you don't have to get 24/7 headshots in order for you to have this overall average TTK at around 1.34 seconds. In association with optimal TTKs, the very next thing that I want to cover is one of two unique intrinsic perks that can only be found on the positive outlook along with the number. So let's go ahead and discuss the positive outlook perk first, and that one is called Kill Clip. Kill Clip states that reloading after a kill grants increased damage. Okay, so exactly how much actual increased damage does this do? Well, just to put this into perspective for you, whenever you have Kill Clip active on the positive outlook, you're going to be doing anywhere from 29 points of damage in the head to 23 points of damage in the body. If you were to equate this to an optimal TTK, that means that you have exactly 0.8 seconds for 7 headshots to demolish a Guardian and absolutely incinerate them. If you were to only get body shots and body shots only, that means that you still have a very fast TTK at 1.07 seconds, with doing exactly 9 body shots. Right here off the bat, we can already see that whenever you have Kill Clip, this is truly exceptional and phenomenal, and to be honest with you, quite stunning that there's an auto rifle in this game that has that kind of TTK. If you were to compare this to say a Last Hope or something else along those lines, this optimal TTK with Kill Clip active found on the positive outlook is actually faster than that of a Last Hope, which is truly dumbfounding. In correlation with this, we have another perk that's only found in the number, and that one is called High Impact Reserves. High Impact Reserve states that bullets at the end of this weapon's magazine deal more damage. Now at first, you're thinking probably that's a fantastic perk and it's glorious and spectacular, but in all honesty, it's not, and it's actually quite a letdown. The reason that this perk is a letdown in the number is because you're going to notice that only the very last 3 bullets in that magazine are possibly, not even guaranteed, are possibly going to do extra damage. That extra damage is only going to increase from 22 to 24 points of damage in the head, and once again I state that you're only going to find it in the very last 3 bullets. So unfortunately, this perk called High Impact Reserves really doesn't do that much of a difference for an overall optimal TTK, at least on the number or any of the other auto rifles. The very last perk that I want to mention here is one that's actually found on the Uriel's gift, and although it doesn't actually increase the overall TTK for that weapon, it does make the optimal TTK more promising, and that's a perk called Tap the Trigger. Tap the Trigger states that this weapon grants a short period of increased stability and accuracy on the initial trigger pull. So right here we know for a fact that on that initial trigger pull, we're going to have very good stability and accuracy, and that's at least going to imply that you're going to be able to get more headshots. More headshots equates to a faster TTK, or at least the possibility to have a faster TTK. Now that you guys have a very solid understanding of all the weapons' PvP stats, aka their optimal TTKs, the very next thing that I want to discuss is these weapons' base stats. Of all the base stats found on these auto rifles, the number one most important base stat is range. The reason why range is so important is because range is going to determine as to how much damage that you can do at close, mid, and cross map distances. The less damage fall off that you have, aka the more range that you have, that means that you're going to be able to use these weapons in a more variety of situations, and that makes them more versatile. If you were to ask me, these weapons already have a base range stat that is simply out of this world, and it allows them to compete with scout rifles at cross-map distances, and is once again another fantastic reason as to why these things are considered the meta, and that's why you see them being used in the Crucible constantly. So right here on the screen, we can see these weapons' base range stats at 70, 64, and 70 going from left to right. So right there we already know for a fact that that base range stat is absolutely glorious, and you simply couldn't ask for anything better. The number is a little bit lacking in this respect, but even so, that base range stat is going to be made up for in some other types of perks that all three of these weapons have, and we're going to get into that in just a second. The very next thing that I really want you guys to take a look at is stability. And the reason why stability is so important is because stability allows the weapon to be more accurate. In conjunction with this, we're going to take a look at recoil direction, and with all these two stats combined, these two things really allow the weapon to have a ton more headshots. And so as we can see, we have 45, 46, and 48 respectively, going from left to right on the screen for the stability factors. And in conjunction with this, we have recoil direction at 71, 70, and 66. Once again, all of these stats are exceptional, and the reason why they're so great is because these stats are truly going to allow you to hit many headshots at cross-map distances, and that's why again, you see all these things being used, aka the meta. The very last thing that I want to point out here is something that is very underrated, and that's the aim assistance on all these weapons. Once again, going from left to right, the aim assistance on the Uriels is 54, 54, and 36 on the positive outlook. So right here we see a massive deficit on the positive outlook, whereas the number and the Uriel's gift clearly have a massive advantage on the positive outlook. Despite this one deficit on the positive outlook, I do want you to note the reload speed on the positive outlook in comparison to the others. The reload speed on the positive outlook is at 49, whereas the reload speed on the number is at 42, and the reload speed on the Uriels is at 46. The reason why you want to have such a high reload stat on the positive outlook is because that thing already has kill clip, and you guys already know the benefits of having that fast reload speed so that you can go ahead and proc kill clip more often, allowing you to have that insane optimal TTK at 0.8 seconds. The very next thing that I want to discuss about these auto rifles is some of the intrinsic perks that they share, aka their similarities, and that is the first one called Precision Frame. Precision Frame states that this weapon's recoil pattern is more predictably vertical while firing extremely fast and gives a very high accuracy. Essentially what this is that this is the exact same perk called Counterbalance back from Destiny 1, but in this case, it converts 80% of the horizontal recoil to vertical recoil, making all the weapons more manageable. This is another reason as to why all these weapons are so powerful in the Crucible, and that's because their recoil direction is exactly vertical, or at least 80% more vertical, making them extremely easy to use in the Crucible. Another wonderful trait that all these things share is a marvelous sight, and that's called the Flash HS5 sight. The Flash HS5 sight is a sight that you've been seeing me use on all these weapons, and it's an Omlum red dot medium zoom scope that highlights enemy targets and once again increases the range with a minor boost in handling speed as well. The reason why this is such a great perk to have is because the highlighting factor makes it extremely easy for you to locate guardians, but more importantly than this is that range increase. Like I said from before, all these weapons have incredible base range stats at 70, 64, and 70 respectively, and this Flash HS5 sight increases their range even more, making them more deadly at longer distances. Not only this, but the sight also gives you a handling speed boost, and that's great because this sight can actually be used in those close, mid, and far range engagements, and the only real engagement in which it can't be used in is those melee ranges. Other than that, this flash HS5 sight is absolutely glorious, and it's one of the best sights that you will ever have on any auto rifle in this game. Another similarity that all three of these weapons share is actually 3 different and unique perks that are different for each one of these weapons, but yet at the same time, they all increase the range. On the Uriel's gift, this perk is called High Caliber Rounds, and High Caliber Round states that shots fired from this weapon knock back the target significantly and also increase the range. So right here, not only are you getting a flinch factor, but at the same time you're getting a range factor, and as I said from before, range is by all means the most important factor on any auto rifle, and this High Caliber Rounds perk is exactly what that's going to do for the Uriel's gift. On the number, we have a different perk, and that one is called Ricochet Rounds. Ricochet Round states that this weapon's bullets ricochet off hard surfaces, increasing stability with a minor increase in range as well. So right here we have 2 great benefits, and that is not only do we have that increased stability, but the increased range, which is absolutely essential for any auto rifle, making the number even more deadly. In contrast to this, we have accurized rounds on the positive outlook, and accurized round states that this weapon can fire longer distances, implying the weapon's range is increased significantly. So of all 3 of these perks, each one increases the range, but accurized rounds increases the range the most, yet at the same time, it doesn't give any additional benefits, whereas ricochet rounds not only increases the range, but increases stability, whereas high caliber rounds increases range and also adds a flinch factor. No matter which perk that you look at on the Uriel's gift, the number, or the positive outlook, all 3 of those perks are spectacular and you simply can't go wrong. After looking at all these factors, it's ultimately coming down to the time for us to decide which one of these 3 bad boys is truly the best among the 3. If you had to ask me, I would hands down, no doubt about it, say that the number 1 auto rifle of the 3 auto rifles is the positive outlook, and that's because of one key fact, that not only does it have kill clip, making it so that you have the potential to have an optimal TTK at 0.8 seconds, but it also has one of the highest ranges of all 3 of these auto rifles, making it such a powerful weapon that I cannot stress enough as to how much of a monster that this thing is in the crucible. If I had to say which one was the best between the Uriel's gift and the number, to be honest with you, that one's quite a toss-up. And the reason that I say this is because both of them are very powerful, and it really just comes down to whichever one that you prefer the best. For the Uriel's gift, you are going to have that little bit of an extra flinch factor with high caliber rounds, but with the number, you're also going to have that ricochet round effect, and that allows bullets to actually go through walls, even though that doesn't seem possible, but yet in this game it actually is. With all this being said, I want to know your guys' thoughts on this down in the comment section below, and which one of these 3 auto rifles that you guys actually believe is the best. No matter which way that you look at it, you simply can't go wrong because all 3 of these auto rifles are truly spectacular and they're all powerhouses to be reckoned with in the crucible. They all have their pros and cons, and each one's going to play to a particular playstyle that's going to fit you the best. Whatever that is, I can't wait to hear all about it, and also let me know some of the other types of verses that you guys want to see in the future down in the comment section, because you know for a fact that I'm definitely going to be doing more of these, because these things are always fun not just for me, but I think that they really help out the community too. Lastly, go ahead and check out some of my other new videos, as you guys can see right there on the screen. If you happen to enjoy this one, they're definitely going to enjoy those as well. That's pretty much all I've got for you as of right now, and so as always, Deislayers, great gaming, until next time.